we'll start with your Students First Act. It's been something you've been trying to pass, a version of it at least, for 3 years. Why is this such an important priority to you?
Well, I think it's really important that we're setting every child up for an opportunity to be successful. And I've said all along, it is critical that we have a strong public education system. It's the foundation of education, it's the foundation of our state and our economy and of society.
Governor Sanders, can I talk to you real quick? Yeah, of course. What can I do for you? Well, there are some parents who feel like they want to send their kids to private school. Sounds great. What's the problem with that? Well, they're poor. Ew. I know. It's like, what part of $10,000 tuition made you feel like you were welcome? I mean, really, the nerve of some people. We thought about it and we believe we've come up with a solution. What if you take public school money and put it in an account? Call it a voucher program. And then you give vouchers to the needy people, and then they turn around and give them back to us. We cash them in for $10,000 a pop. You get to look like you care about poor people. We steal millions from the taxpayers. It's a win-win.
Iowa taxpayers could be on the hook for $221.6 million in K-12 private school tuition costs. This would be for just the 2023 to 2024 school year, and this is per the latest records from Kim Reynolds' office. This estimate is contingent on if all 29,025 K-12 students who applied for the school voucher program are approved and received their $7,635. Already 17,000 plus applications have been approved, which amounts to about $133.5 million of taxpayer money. Iowa was only projected to have to spend $107 million on this voucher program the first year. Nice. There are income restrictions for the applicants receiving these funds for the first couple years of the program, but once it's year 3, that's done, and there's no cap. Amazing. Another fun note, since Governor Reynolds' voucher program passed earlier this year, a number of private schools have raised their tuition rates, some by more than 10%, ensuring that private school education still remains out of reach for lower income Iowans.
State money to pay for their child's private schooling. Here's what you need to know. The state has billions of dollars to spend on this, but for years, Democrats and rural Republicans have argued vouchers would pull resources from small town public schools and benefit private schools that exist mostly in cities. So the most prominent proposal this year, and the one Abbott actually endorses, is creating education savings accounts, which are essentially state-managed bank accounts for parents who remove their children from the public education system. These accounts would give parents access to taxpayer money to pay for educational expenses like private school tuition, homeschooling, materials, online schooling, and private tutors. A lot to muddle through here. Now, supporters, here's what they're saying. Supporters say that this gives families more freedom when it comes to school choice, but opponents here says it takes money from struggling public schools. Look at this recent poll here from UT saying that registered voters in different parts of Texas responding when asked about establishing that voucher program and how their opinions kind of changed when they found out that that money would be redirected from state tax revenue. Most people say they want this voucher program, but they don't want the tax revenue to be distributed that way.
Just like any scam, vouchers may sound good, but once you dig into the details, you realize they're ripping you off. A voucher is any program that takes our hard-earned tax dollars out of our underfunded public schools and gives them to unaccountable private schools. It's not a popular idea, and that's why voucher proponents have had to come up with a bunch of new slogans to sell their scam. Let's walk through each one. First, vouchers are not school choice. In fact, it's the school's choice, because private schools can deny admission to any kid for any reason they want. They can deny admission because of academics, because of behavior, because your parents don't make enough money, or because you're not the right cultural fit. Second, vouchers are not educational freedom. Private schools don't have to provide special education services. They don't have to provide transportation. And the voucher doesn't even cover the full cost of tuition at most private schools, which is why in Arizona, 85% of their voucher program went to subsidize wealthy kids who are already in private school to begin with. And that's not even acknowledging the fact that 151 counties in Texas don't even have a private school. Last, but certainly not least, vouchers are not parental rights. In fact, parents give up rights when they go to a private school. Unlike public school boards, there is no accountability, no transparency, no democracy. I say all this because they can put as much lipstick on this pig as they want, but at the end of the day, it's still a pig.
public schools that you oversee, what standard do they have to meet in terms of student outcomes, student achievement, in order to keep their accreditation? That would be, I mean, every public school district comes in, be able to tell you that.
That's not my day-to-day job, is what I'm telling you.
You're the principal, sir.
Yeah.
So what is that standard that you have to meet to keep your accreditation?
I couldn't give you the exact score of a student. So, well, I mean, if you want exact scores, so students have to be to be able to pass. Students have to meet a passing score of 70 percentile.
So the student or the school has to be in the 70th percentile.
That's the student to be promoted to the next.
Sure, now I understand that. How many of the students have to meet that standard for you to keep